I really don't want to do this video. I can't believe I have to do another one on the same subject. But Candace Owens is doing it again, using her enormous multi-million platform viewership to push out hatred of the Jewish people yet again. Our last video has been seen, well, millions of times, but Candace won't quit. So here we go again. Another lie perpetrated by America's leading anti-Semite, Candace Owens. I need you to take a minute and watch it. I thought my video of last month that you participated in would have handled the situation. And what I'm referring to is I took great exception a month ago to a video that Candace Owens put out that was a vicious rewriting of history on her platform. And she declared in that video last month, with no proof, no evidence, just a feeling that the barbaric torture of inmates at the Auschwitz concentration camp didn't happen because to her, it didn't make any sense. And it would be a waste of supplies to torture Jews. And as I said in the video, my family was there. My mother was a nurse in that ward and witnessed it personally, in addition to the numbers of my family that were killed and tortured there by people like infamous Nazi doctor Joseph Mengele. In that video, I refuted everything that she said. I refuted her feelings, and I invited her to call me so we could get her educated to the most documented crime in human history. There are literally millions of film shot by the Nazis, video, still pictures. And when the camps were liberated, generals, including Eisenhower, said, I want everything documented so no one will ever dispute what happened here. And here we are in 2024, and Candace Owens is making a career out of it. That was last month. Fortunately, over 1 million people have seen our video. I hope I cleared up the facts for them. Now, a month later, she attacks more Jewish history, Will. This time, she's making the unbelievable, absurd claim that the Star of David, that star right behind me on the Israeli flag and worn around the necks by millions of Jews, in Hebrew called the Magen David, which is the shield of David, King David from the Bible. It's the international symbol of jewelry around the world, was made up in the late 1800s, and it was adopted by Jews because it had been an evil pagan symbol that represented, get this, child sacrifice.
Wow.
Let me show you how her segment begins. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's an hour show.
One thing, and this is a big thing, by the way, so I'm really hoping that a lot of people who are Jewish are watching this as well. That struck me as really odd when I was learning about Sabbatianism, and this really shocked me in my core because I've always told you guys I grew up with a large Jewish community. All my best friends were Jewish growing up, and I've always seen like the Star of David. That is a lot of Jewish people wear as a necklace, you know, and I thought that that was associated traditionally somehow with Judaism. And so I was very surprised, and I will ask the question, do you know the history of the Star of David? Why is it being called the Star of David? And I'm just going to just show you guys this straight up on Wikipedia. So if it's on Wikipedia, basically after they've obscured everything, that just must mean that it's just such an irreversible fact, because you wouldn't even want to admit this. But this is what the entry shows you about the Star of David, because it's actually a very recent thing that has been adopted from the Jewish community. Okay, it's not something stemming from the ancient times. And this is exactly what it reads. It reads that it is a derivative of the seal of Solomon, was used for decorative and mystical purposes by Muslims and Kabbalistic Jews. I want you to remember that, okay? So it's a derivative of the seal of Solomon. King Solomon was used for decorative and mystical purposes by Muslims and Kabbalistic Jews. It also goes on to say that only around 1 millennium later did the star begin to be used as a symbol to identify Jewish communities, a tradition that seems to have started in Prague before the 17th century. I want you to remember that as well. And from there spread to much of Eastern Europe in the 19th century. It came to be adopted by European Jews as a symbol to represent Jewish religion or identity in the same manner the Christian cross identified the religion's believers. The symbol became representative of the worldwide Zionist community after it was chosen as the central symbol on a flag at the first Zionist Congress in 1897. So this is a recent symbol.
I am so angry to hear that because I'm hearing lie, 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 lie. Let's begin with the fact that she says it's on Wikipedia, so it must be true.
That
You
right
can-
there. Sorry, Barry. Soon as she came out with that, it's on Wikipedia, so it must be factual. It must be true. She's done. I mean, what happened to her?
You can
This is
post
bizarre.
anything on Wikipedia.
And you can update it. I mean, really, you can, Wikipedia, you can go in there and update it and make it say whatever it is you want it to say. And she knows this.
Well, that's because she's an anti-Semite, Will, and she had to have some source. This could have been written by her friends that are anti-Semites. The fact of the matter is, her saying the symbol is a couple hundred years old is a lie. The Star of David is mentioned in the Talmud, the ancient biblical analysis that was written in the 300 and 400s after the New Testament came out. It predates what she's talking about by 1,400 years. It has been associated with Jews. Are we hearing this?
Yeah.
The idea that she talks about later, that this has to do with devil worship and child sacrifice and Moloch. She has other stuff she pulled out of the internet showing a Jewish star with horns on it. I mean, I guess she doesn't have a research department. I guess what she does is says to her staff, hey, it's been a month. Let's attack Jews again with false claims because I don't like Jews. I have no other explanation for it. She talks about the Canaanites and child sacrifices and satanic rituals. None of it has anything to do with Jews ever. She just makes it up.
Yeah.
She's got millions of people that follow her. Her intention is to cause people to be upset with Jews. And she's using anti-Semitic tropes that have been used for centuries, that in the old days ended up with pogroms. Whole Jewish villages wiped out. I'm so stunned that this bright woman who has this monster platform has decided that the Jewish people are her enemy. And once a month, she does another show proving A, her ignorance, B, her hatred for Jews. I have no other explanation that I can.
I think all of this started because of what happened between her and Ben Shapiro. She wants to take it out on the entire Jewish community. Was she completely going to Wikipedia? I mean, really? And you know what? Be honest with you, Barry, I could care less about Candace Owens. I've had people throughout the years tell me, you can't trust Candace Owens. She's a snake. She's a lie. And during that time, I was like, I don't know. I'm not really seeing it. But now that was something that I didn't see. I went to Turning Point USA. There was an event in Arizona with Turning Point USA, and Candace Owens was there. Charlie Kirk was there, and I was there with other Black people, influencers. And nothing about Israel came up. Everything came up about how the left, the Democrats, were using Black people to get them to, to target the Black community. So we had an objective to just allow Black people to know the truth. Open your eyes to what was happening. Charlie Kirk has been very outspoken about his support for Israel. And the two of them were really close. So I'm just kind of curious what the relationship is between them two right now.
I can find out. I have connections there, and I will follow your lead and I will ask. But I know she worked at Prager.
Sure did.
That's where she got her start. And Dennis Prager is an observant Jew. She worked at Turning Point USA, and the founder, Charlie Kirk, is a passionate Zionist Christian, like you.
Yep.
And then she went to Ben Shapiro's organization, and Ben Shapiro is an Orthodox observant Jew. So she's turned on everybody. I don't know what's happened, but I can tell you, as of now, she is the most famous anti-Semite Jew hater in America.
Yeah. Well, on the outside looking in, she's scorned. She's upset with PragerU, upset with Turning Point, and all of them are connected with Jewish people, which is not an issue. But she's scorned. There's something else going on because she knows better to go over to Wikipedia and say it must be factual. I mean, really?
And that
We might as
it,
well go over to CNN and say, oh, it's on CNN, so it must be true.
you
It
know,
says Kamala Harris is not the borders are, so it's on CNN. It must be true.
I know high school teachers, I know college professors. If you walk in with a term paper and you quote Wikipedia, you get an F and you get the paper handed back to you, because everybody knows that Wikipedia is made up by people who post whatever they want. Some of
Yeah,
it's true, some of it's a little bit true, and some of it's just BS.
yeah,
And you find anything you want on Wikipedia. And if you don't find what you're looking for, take 10 minutes, type it up yourself, post it, and then you can quote yourself with a different name. And that's what she's just done. Shame on you, Candace Owens. This is the second time I've had to do a video on it. And meanwhile, you're carrying the crown of the biggest anti Semite in America.